last week, we gave you our thoughts on the Super Bowl. It goes without saying, we do reserve the right to change our picks based on what has happened. So, Marv, you had Patriots. I had Patriots last week. Are you sticking with it? Super Bowl is this weekend. What are your thoughts?
You know, I had a long time debating about, do I stick with the Patriots or do I go over to Seattle? Now, last week, I was a little heartbroken. I probably was picking a little bit with my head.
True.
But I think that I am going to switch my pick, Ty.
Okay.
I think I'm going to go with Seattle and probably a close one. I think I could see this game going 24-21. I mean, a lot of good headlines out here. You're talking about Sherm versus Darrelle Revis on the island once again. So a lot of good things in this year's Super Bowl. So I think, take my heart out the equation. I think I'm going to go with Seattle in a close one, 27-24.
Hey, I hear you, and I don't blame you. It's hard to pick. I'm going to stick with the Patriots. Mm-hmm. This whole Deflategate thing, it's been a big inconvenience and distraction for them, but I think if there's one team that has that willpower and is mentally tough to stick through and see it out, I think it is New England. You talk about the storylines from the game, two of the best corners, Sherman and Revis. Let's talk about probably two of the best defensive backfields in the game in the Legion of Boom and what the Patriots have. Interesting that Browner now with the Pats, who used to be, one of those charter members of the Legion. And don't forget Devin McCourty, who's doing some work at safety as well.
I mean, it's definitely, when I was looking at a scout, looking at Louis Riddick, who's an ESPN NFL insider, he was talking about how both of these teams are built directly up the middle. When you're talking about Vince Wilfork, you're talking about the safeties for the Patriots, and on the other side of football, you're talking about Cam Chancellor, Earl Thomas, Bobby Wagner up the middle for Seattle. So both of these teams are really built up the middle defensively. So I think it's the outside pressure with Cliff Averill, with Michael Bennett, with Bruce Irving. I think they have enough to get to Brady because Brady is not a person that's going to move around in the pocket. He's a person that's pretty much just going to stand in the pocket and beat 5, 3-step, 7-step drops, things of that nature. It's timing routes and that's such.
Agreed. Let's just stick with the timing routes. Another storyline I thought that was interesting. From the receiver position, there's not a lot of star power. I think it's very lackluster. Edelman is probably the best receiver.
I think lackluster is probably, you're saying it nicely. There's the receiving core's atrocious. It's abysmal. It's bad. It's pretty much in a nutshell.
Again, curse. When you're thrown at 4 times and every single time results in no catches for you, but 4 catches for the other team prior to overtime, that's a problem. That's a problem, again, which would be great. Perhaps it just speaks more, again, to the secondary. Beast mode, obviously, one of the most important things for the Seahawks. Let's talk about LeGarrette Blount. This man walks out on his team, lands with the Patriots, finds himself in the Super Bowl, and they have some sets there. Maybe sprinkle Jonas Gray into the mix.
Who?
The Pats? Jonas Gray, perhaps. I know you've heard of him. I mean, it's.
Oh, okay.
The Pats can pound the ball a little bit, and I do not think the Seahawks are as strong up front as they were a season ago, especially with that injury they had.
To Brandon Meebane.
Brandon Meebane,
I
exactly.
think I totally agree with you, but Marshawn Lynch is definitely the best player in this game, I think, moving forward. I would have to say that he's the best player in this game moving forward. So I would have to – that's why I'm giving a little bit of the edge to Seattle and changing my pick. Now, LeGarrette Blount, he can pound the football. Eddie Lacy has some success. James Starks has some success. Jonathan Stewart has some success against Seattle, too, in this playoffs, too, as well. Now, on the other side of the football, though, all they have to do is concentrate on slowing down Gronk. You're not going to stop Gronk, but you can slow him down just a little bit. So that's why I have to give the edge to Seattle, because I don't think you can't slow down Marshawn Lynch. Once you give that man some Skittles and let him get going, then it is what it is.
There's one thing that the Legion of Boom has a history of. It's eliminating elite tight ends from the game. Look at what they've done to Jimmy Graham, Vernon Davis, who took a season off this past year. Let's switch to the quarterbacks.
Exactly.
Obviously, I trust the brain trust of Brady and Belichick. Now, Russell Wilson, I've said it before. I like to look at Russell as he's kind of like Brady when he first came in. He's on a great team, a defensive-minded team.
Okay.
Not too much really power at wide receiver. He's making it work. Brady had who Patton and not too many big names. Troy Brown, who kind of did his thing. Branch did his thing. But I think Russell is that next former Brady who steps in with a good team around, who makes plays for his receivers, who can't really make the plays for the quarterback.
I mean, that's the big X factor right there, Ty, because like I said before, you don't know what the hoodie really has up his sleeve for this Super Bowl. I mean, last week was deflating footballs. This week, maybe the Seattle team bus doesn't make it there on time or something of that nature. Maybe Seattle goes to the wrong stadium or something along those lines, something drastic, excuse me.
Lastly, Pete Carroll taking on his former team that he coached. Seahawks first team to get back-to-back in the Super Bowl since the Pats did it. You heard